in disgust. Blakey, after the mark, was intercepted.
Stiff for young Harry Cole, Jace. He was lining up for his first goal in AFL footy. Senior players talked him out of it.
Yep.
He'll have to wait a little bit longer. They'll just take the win. That's all they want. Ryan had got out goal side on Blakey. Wilson continues to run hard. They're going to have to score from this entry if they're to be any chance. Cole straight back into the back pocket. McCartan. Rock solid. As is Mills, and the kick now to Curnow. We'll slow it up. And they'll secure themselves in the top 2 spot. They've got Port Adelaide at home next week before finishing against Essendon and North Melbourne. They're going to find a way to win this, put themselves in the box seat for a home qualifying final. Filippo just lost the handle. They've lifted their tackle pressure in this second half, Sydney. And after a quiet first half, Curnow's going to cash in late and line up for his third.
Well, life's a little bit easier with Jack Silvani off the ground, isn't it?
We're in a protected area. Come back with me.
Been well held all day, Charlie Curnow.
Heaney and Warner rising to the top, 8 and 7 possessions respectively in the last turn.
To extend his tally to 57 on the year. He takes the full 30 seconds. And knocks it home. Been a big fourth quarter by one of the premiership fancies. 7 goals to 1.
7 goals, 3 from 13 inside 50s. Fossey, that's an extraordinary conversion rate.
It's made the difference, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's when we can break down most of the game, we can talk about individuals. We can talk about a system that you need to be able to play over the course of 4 quarters. But in the end, once you get inside 50, if you're efficient, you're hard to stop. And that's what Sydney have been able to do.
So there is the pictures of Jack Silvani with mum and dad. Looks like the green whistle there, so he's clearly in pain. Been a bit of a day of carnage for a number of players in this one, as Max Hall, as he's done so often this season, just slots one from 50. Finishes a nice game by this young man. 23 disposals, 3 goals, 2. 10 score involvements.
The margin was probably getting a little unfair for the Saints, given how good they'd been for the first 3 and a bit quarters. But it's opened up in the last. That's the advantage from the free kick paid. And no traffic in front. He runs to 50. A good finish. He's played well, Hall. Three and 3 goals is a good afternoon's work.
He's had an excellent season. As mentioned earlier, top 40 rated player in the game. He's so brilliant, particularly in that first quarter. Helped set up St Kilda's early lead. They just haven't been able to finish it off. I mean, they'll lose another game against a top 10 team this year, St Kilda. It shows that probably close, but not there yet.
Good take.
Wilson will pop one in short for Marshall. He's had the 14 disposals, 6 clearances. So St Kilda have to lick their wounds, set themselves for Carlton next week, which will probably, in some ways, decide that wild card spot. There are other teams obviously still a chance. That might be the determining game, depending on what happens here at Marvel later tonight. Carlton hosting the Brisbane Lions. Second of a Saturday doubleheader. Ryan, umpire didn't fall for that one. Instead said that was your prior, which is the right call.
Stand, clear out. Errol. Got 15, play on. Yours.
Gordon, disposal number 34.
Play on. Fine. Play on. Play on.
Saints will run out of time. It'll be the Sydney Swans day with a barnstorming finish. A fourth quarter masterclass by their stars, and they overcome the Saints to win by 19 points. Disposals, 3 score involvements, a couple of clearances. Isaac Heaney had the 8 disposals, 5 score involvements. Chad Warner, the 7 disposals and a goal. Tom McCartan, terrific down back. And Papley and Curnow, who had tough days, bob up when they were needed in that 4th term. There are 2 great mates, Charlie Curnow and Jack Silvani. But let's get down to Sarah Jones, who has one of the stars of the day with her.
I've got Chad Warner alongside me. What a phenomenal final quarter. Where did that power come from?
Yeah, it was big. I think we've always got the belief in our group whether we're down or up. And I think we had a good bit to go in that last quarter. And I think when Will Edwards went down, we might have found a little bit.
So talk to us about that, because obviously a horrific moment to witness your teammate going through such a painful and awful injury. How did the group regather?
Yeah, I think I saw it on the screen and it was disgusting. And yeah, I think in those moments, you just come together, and we kind of wanted to do it for him in the end. I think he got us over the line.
And you've got to make sure you're switched on as well. It was quite a lengthy delay, so physically you've got to get going again. Is that where the leaders really come to the fore? Yeah, definitely. I think they got us. We're all standing around, the leaders got us to do a few jog throughs and get moving again. Like you said, mental and physical is tough when you have a break like that. So there were a few things that could be fixed up at halftime. Your tackling numbers were really poor, and also forward efficiency was quite low. Did you feel like there was some room to move? Yeah, definitely. Exactly what you said. Our tackling and our pressure was down a lot. And then I feel like we were able to make them turn the ball over a lot, but then we'd turn it over ourselves. So, yeah, the clean-up with the skills and the pressure was the way to go. And the flexibility, Isaac Heaney wasn't getting too much of the ball early in the midfield to then be able to deploy him forward. It must be nice to have someone like him that's so multi-talented. Yeah, of course. I think you always look to him as well in the big moments, and if we need to get up or win the game, he's always there and he's always producing. So you can't knock him. Well done. Enjoy the win. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Chad Warner finished the 25 disposals and 2 goals, 11 inside 50s. But the story was the injuries. There were some bad ones today, Jason. There was some concerns about Tom De Koning early. He was able to come back out onto the field. Then the really sad story of Will Edwards, who's come back from serious leg issues in the past to show that he's an AFL player. And he, unfortunately, re-injured a leg, and then Jack Silvani with that badly dislocated shoulder. So bad day for a number of players and for these 2 teams.
It was, and Rowbottom had the broken hand as well. So it's come at a toll, the win today for the Swans.
Let's get back down ground level. Sarah.
I've got Isaac Heaney alongside me. The boys upstairs are just talking about the injury carnage tonight. You were just chatting to Jack Silvani, James Rowbottom for you guys with the hand, and obviously Will. I mean, footy's tough game, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's always physical. These guys are really physical, and I found out the hard way in the guts there, and a few of the boys come off, yeah, not that great, unfortunately. So hopefully I think he's broken the middle bone, so hopefully it's pretty quick turnaround. And then Wed, yeah, poor fella. That's one of the grosser ones I've seen. So hopefully bounce back pretty quick, but he's been outstanding for us and someone will fill his spot, so yeah.
You mentioned your own game. Obviously, you got a few clearances early, but perhaps not the volume of ball we're used to seeing, and then you move forward. Tell us about the thinking. Is that your idea? Is that the coach's idea to release you up there?
A bit of both. I felt dangerous up forward, which was really good, and around the stoppage, he's a big, strong boy, and he was clamping me down pretty hard, and probably couldn't get off. Run off that well. So just to change things up, I mean, credit to him, he made me change spots, which is really good, and then started working the game second half, which was really pleasing, and yeah, plenty to work on, but he was tough. It was good.
Obviously, players are very process-driven when you're out in the middle, but late in that last quarter, I mean, you would know at this time of year the ramifications if you were to drop a game like this. You're second on the ladder at the moment. Did it feel like, okay, let's get going?
Absolutely. I feel like we've been building last couple of weeks, and obviously had a month there where I'd like to say we were learning a lot, and I'm pretty, as much as people sort of say, oh, you can't beat the top teams or whatnot, it's more like we were learning so much from that, which has put us in good stead to finish games off like that and play some really good football. And still plenty to learn, but I'm really confident in our team, and the way we finished that was really pleasing, and I think we stayed pretty cool-headed throughout the whole second half when we're under the pump, so that's a positive.
We'll let you go enjoy singing that team song.
Thanks.
Isaac Heaney there, the 22 disposals, 2 goals, 11 score involvements in front of 32,500 fans. A gutsy 19-point win by the Sydney Swans. But up next, history-making AFLW clash between Australia and Ireland.
This program brought to you by NAB, your partner from NAB AFL Auskick to the big stage. Amy. Lucky you're with Amy. Harvey Norman. Shop best brands, best range, best prices. New Power Pass Pro Rewards by Bunnings. And Toyota Hilux. Don't send a ute to do a Hilux job.
Including smiling Irish eyes, turn to Sydney for the next few hours for yet another moment in the evolution of women's sport. The first ever AFLW International between Australia and Ireland. Good afternoon and welcome to North Sydney Oval, one of the most beautiful grounds in the world in what promises to be an unforgettable occasion. And a very big welcome for the first time to our AFLW coverage. A couple of brand new recruits. In fact, they were premiership teammates with the Brisbane Lions. It's a great honour to welcome you, Lauren Arnell, former Port Adelaide coach. How good is this vibe here right now?
This is unbelievable, Cal. I feel so fortunate to be here, and to be honest, this is the most I've ever missed playing. This is an unbelievable atmosphere.
I mentioned you won a premiership together at Brisbane. The brand new Swans recruit for season 2026 is Taylor Smith. Taylor, you've never been here before. First impressions?
It's absolutely phenomenal. The crowd started rolling in super early, and I'm so excited for the girls, for my teammates, for my friends, and I am absolutely loving this.
And Lauren Wood, of course, from Code Sports. Lauren, what does it mean, do you think, for the people that are here today?
Well, high emotion across both sides. It's high stakes, there's national pride on the line. The county flags are awash here at North Sydney Oval. There's a lot to play for in more ways than one.
Certainly is, and we've got the Governor-General here as well. Sam Mostyn's just quickly popped by, so many prestigious people here. Much looking forward to what is to come here. So it is Australia v Ireland. When you look back and see how far Australia has come in women's sport, the energy, the momentum and all the chatter, it leads us here to North Sydney Oval, and today is another moment. We can't wait to bring you all the action live and exclusive on Fox Footy.
packed North Sydney Oval is a sight to see this afternoon for this historic representative clash between Australia and Ireland. We're just moments away from a truly unforgettable afternoon. My name is Jess Webster, and alongside me is a true pioneer of women's football, Shiloh Curtis. Shi, you have memories of when Australia toured Ireland 20 years ago. Here we are here at North Sydney Oval. This must bring about a lot of emotion for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's taken us 20 years to get back onto the international game, and it's just an amazing spectacle. Sydney has done an amazing job in putting this game on.
We can't wait to see what happens today. We're actually not sure what's going to happen out there on the field, but for now, let's take you straight downstairs for our pre-match ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Ostremple is my name, and on behalf of the AFL and Premier Partner NAB, I would like to welcome you to today's inaugural representative AFLW match between Australia and Ireland. The AFL would like to acknowledge the Camaragal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional owners of the lands that we play on today. We acknowledge the First Peoples and the lands that they have tended for us to play on, and their rich heritage in the game of Australian football. To conduct today's Welcome to Country, please welcome Brendan Kerrin.
Thank you, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's always an honour for me to perform the Welcome to Country, and especially to be a part of this game here today. We're gathered on the unceded lands of the Camaragal people. The Camaragal are one of 29 clans that make up the Eora Nation. And the boundaries for the Eora Nation start from the ocean. They're surrounded by three of Australia's most beautiful rivers, the Hawkesbury, Nepean and Georges rivers. In between those three mighty and beautiful rivers, there was 29 clans that made up the Eora Nation. The name of the clan we're gathered on here today is Camaragal. On behalf of those Camaragal ancestors, because we believe their spirits are still in the lands and the waters. On behalf of Metropolitan Aboriginal Land Council, as the cultural authority, it gives me great honour to welcome you all here today. Welcome to the lands and waters of the Camaragal.
Thank you, Brendan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you, if you are able, to please be upstanding and remove your hats and join with the players, coaches and umpires for the singing of the Irish National Anthem by Cian and Catherine.
Sheena fina for a top we out and garen wind us to our team to run and queen we void the same John Sirish and share faster the Oxford Quintir on of control I know the him Salvana when they got our guilt on Boston Sea they couldn't scream we love what now believe shall it coming around the beat.
I'd invite you to remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem by Steph Reinboth.
Well, truly wonderful scenes here in front of a sold-out crowd at North Sydney Oval, and isn't it great to see the NAB Oz kickers alongside their heroes for their respective national anthems. Shai, that gave me goosebumps. As much as today is about bragging rights for these two nations, it's also a celebration of the impact that the Irish players have had on the AFLW competition as well.
Yeah, they've been extraordinary, haven't they, Jess, over a period of time. There's been over 45 players that have played in the AFL, in fact more, probably closer to 50 AFLW competition. There's just something about their game style, their athleticism, how they've adapted to our game, how they use the ball, Jess. It's just a wonderful addition to our competition, and we are so lucky that so many have made the trip over.
And Loz, with special occasion, as we have mentioned as well, but what are you most looking forward to today? Or is there something that you want to see?
Oh, I mean, the fact that we've got the very best Australian players in front of us, this is going to be a brilliant game of AFL football. And for the Irish, it's really just how quickly can they get the ball on the outside. For me, the strength won't be inside stoppage and it won't be inside the contest. They'll have to try and squeeze the Australian midfielders inside stoppage and do their very best to get on the outside. I think the one thing that works in the Irish's favour is it's a very small ground, and so the metres gained and the fast pace of the game should suit them, and we hopefully see a high-scoring game.
Absolutely. So we expect the first 10 minutes or so, I reckon, to be incredibly chaotic out there. There is the two captains coming together. Jazz Garner, of course, an 8-time All-Australian. Ola O'Dwyer, the first Irish player to earn herself an All-Australian blazer as well. So who's going to be the first one to win this little mini battle out there in the middle of North Sydney Oval? And well, they both pointed the same way, and then they shake hands, and then I think we can mark that one maybe down to Australia. So as Jazz Garner makes her way over, we're going to head downstairs and hand it over to you, Lauren Wood.
Well, Jamin, this team's got 25 premierships between you, 52 All-Australian blazers. What does it mean to you to lead them today?
Oh, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely honoured. I look around, it's just, you feel safe knowing you've got this talent in your team. So just really excited to play.
You've only come together over the last couple of days. What can we expect from the game plan?
I think just we're going to bring our weapons and play an exciting brand of footy.
You've addressed a lot of teams in your time as the skipper. What are you about to say to them?
Oh, I just think just do what you do, girls. I don't have to say too much. Just go out and, yeah, bring your game of footy.
Get in there. Go well.
Thank you.
What an incredible player Jazz Garner has been in our competition. She kicked the first ever AFLW goal way back in 2017. Loz, what a moment that was. Is she a sneaky chance of kicking the first one today?
Well, look, I think it's more likely to be someone like Kate Hall, but I was standing very, very close to that first ever goal, and I was filthy because I was playing for Carlton at the time and Jazzy was playing for Collingwood. But I think the reality of this game for Australia is the enormous strength of the tools, and Matilda Scholes, for me, if she's not winning best on ground, I'll be shocked. There is no other athlete on the ground quite like Matilda, and we're really looking forward to seeing her start in the ruck for Australia.
The atmosphere here at North Sydney Oval is absolutely incredible. This place is packed. Hard to know if the crowd is going for Ireland or Australia. We're about to find out over the next couple of hours, but the stage is certainly set. Friendships are going to be put aside this afternoon. Club colours swapped for national pride. This is a contest years in the making, and it certainly is a new chapter in the story of the AFLW. It's Australia taking on Ireland to get us underway. Here is Kelly Underwood.
So national pride on the line. Scholes in the ruck. And look at that from midfield. Garner, Prasparkas and Riddell. And up she goes against O'Dowd. Gives it straight to Prasparkas. Straight down the throat. Over to Garner. Missed the target. Bouncing ball inside 50. Getting there was O'Dowd. Little ball flicked out the side. Stripped of it was Ella Roberts. And now they pile in on top of each other. Well done by Ash McCarthy. Goes to the wing. Clears the pad. This is Cordner waiting at the back. Plenty of height in that way, and Conway reads it best over a Brisbane teammate, Ola O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer the captain. And that's a great grab. Taking it was Garner with her big mitch. She's going to send it right to the top of the square. This is danger, danger territory, but a brilliant spoil. And knocked away by Cronin.
Really well watched there. Just didn't overcommit to the contest. Knew what was coming in. There's no space out there. North Sydney is very short and it's really narrow. They're going to have to be inventive.
The long kick out is going to be a turnover. So Australia will get another look here through Gay, who centres the kick into the corridor. And well done coming across and bringing it to ground was Fitzpatrick. Garner working hard to win it back for Australia. Hands it off to Morrison, a little fumble. Now she's bumped off it by McDonough. Gonna look McDonough. There's a whistle on play. Free kick going Australia's way for a throw. Looks like it'll be Mon Conti to take the free kick. The Richmond superstar might test her range. She's looking for options. She wants to hand it off instead. Gives it to Mackenzie. Good pressure on the mark. Sends it into the pocket. It's going to roll out of play and be thrown in.
A little interesting interaction between Kearns and Talia Randall in the goal square as that was unfolding. There may have been a little elbow from Randall, and Kearns certainly didn't appreciate that.
You love to see it early, don't you, Loz?
Why not? It's an international game. Let's go.
Spectacular sight. Sell-out. North Sydney Oval. And it's Randall in the ruck. She goes up against it, against O'Dowd. Hurried kick out of there, but it's going to land to Morrison. She wants to move it quickly, pokes it into the pocket. Uncontested mark taken by Zippy Fish. The rising star from last year, and she might have the first set shot of the afternoon, Zippy. That right leg heavily strapped. She's been battling a knee injury in the pre-season. But Fish, the West Australian, it's straight through, and the opener goes to Zippy. Zippy Fish, the best name in Australian sport.
Well, it was almost a year ago that we saw her make her debut on this very ground. She had 26 disposals, of course, equalled the record for the most number of disposals on debut. She's an amazing player, beautiful talent that's come out of WA, just knows where to be, knows how to use the ball, and Loz, she knows how to celebrate as well.
Oh, I love that she had some teammates encouraging her to go back, because there's been some loose checking from the Irish in this forward 50 for Australia, and already a little glimpse into how Australia are trying to control the ball as well, that short kick mark game, but excellent finish from a second-year player.
What an incredible story Zippy Fish is, only making her AFL debut last season, the Rising Star winner. She is kicking the first goal for Australia. There's been the injury cloud over her during the week. From the restart, O'Dwyer sends it forward for the Irish. Back with a flight. It's a good mark by Gay. As Conway short elects to send it further afield. It's a good aggressive kick into the middle. Garner crashes into Kearns, but strong enough to take the grab. She looks on early, Garner. Sends Australia forward. Deep into attack. It was knocked away from Randall. Hoare is also lurking. And now it gets out. And the Irish can clear to a contest on the wing. Scholes had a good piece of that, just couldn't complete the mark in the end. They scrap for it on the wing. Hurry kick forward from Gay. Bounces over the top. Randall with time and space. Hooks it around the corner perfectly! Australia with the first 2 goals.
What an incredible finish by Talia Randall. That snap around the body, I'm actually going to say she was trying to pass that footy. She saw Ella Roberts in the goal square all by herself. But that's first class from Talia Randall. And again, the importance of the tall bodies for Australia. Matilda Scholes getting to that long kick down the line and the exit from the Irish. Good luck getting through that brick wall that Matilda Scholes is already creating for Australia. And those quick entries are going to be really challenging for the Irish to defend.
And already Australia looks like they're a little bit better organised behind the footy. Their Loz every time Ireland's tried to go forward, just set up really nicely. The Aussies behind the ball and just playing with a little bit more system at the moment. The Irish just being hurried by the Aussies.
Cronin into the ruck here. She's easily beaten by Scholes. Oh, they're give and go. And a fend off by Matilda. She's not waltzing through. She's barging through. And it will be a free kick for the Irish coming back.
How long have you had that one up your sleeve, Kel?
Hey, there might be a few today. Oh, now Neve McLaughlin's caught. Gold Coast captain tried to get it. Matilda might get on the end of this one. Handballs it out wide. Here's a chance. Aussies going forward again. Strong to Conti. And Hoare should snap the goal. She does. It's green and gold, gold, gold for Australia. Bang, bang, bang. Goal, goal, goal. And they are up and about.
Wow, the physical presence, Shiloh, from the Australians is incredible, and you just wonder for the Irish if they can win a little bit of contested possession at centre ball up here. Maybe they get their handball game going, the chain handball, and try and break through the physicality of Australia.
Love that by the Aussies, but it's really interesting because the weapons that Jazz Garner spoke about, let's use our weapons, but the Irish's weapons, the ability to run, to create, to open space, it's the Aussies that are doing that at the moment, really offensive, forward of the footy running, and they're looking for each other. The Irish girls just lagging behind a little bit.
Strong with the tap down of Prasparkas, left the footy behind. In comes Hanks, clean, off to Riddell on the left. The Aussies surge forward again, bounce at the feet of Scholes. O'Shea is there to hand it off to Kelly for the Irish. Handball over the top. Can they get some run going? O'Shea on the end of it. That's what they're known for, the Irish. Sends it down the line. They kicked it quite, hit the target, but it might work out. It gets out the back to Martin. Gets a handball away. But it's been chopped off by Conan. One of the late inclusions for the Australia squad today, and with her experience, locks things up.
Love that chain handball. That's exactly what I was talking about. Run at the game, the Irish, and catch those Aussies off guard.
So there's no Irish in the ruck here. Strong just bangs it forward. It should sit for Kelly. It does. Her sister Grace ruled out with a hamstring injury. Another turnover. Hodder's involved. But the Irish are there. Finn couldn't find the target. Hank. And then to Conti. Kick was ricocheted the way of Kelly. Draws the defender. Gives it over the top to Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Here's a chance. Vicky Wall. Over it goes again. Hurried kick by herself is Blaheem Bogue in the pocket. That's better movement from the Irish team.
And what we just saw there was a running pattern and a style of football that we see in the Gaelic game, and I think we'll see, once they get used to playing alongside of each other, we might see some of that, I guess, default muscle memory come back. But that was beautiful running carry through the middle of the ground.
Breakout star in her first year of AFLW last year. She finished with 25 goals and a premiership to get the Irish on the board.
Incredible run from the Irish, and that's the way to put the Australians on the back foot. There's no stopping the Irish girls once they get up and going. I don't mind the risk that Conti took trying to find a mark, but the run in the support run here from Vicky Wall, unselfish, physical presence, and we could see some Australian jumpers chasing a bit of footy there and getting caught too high up as defenders, and that's the goal the Irish absolutely needed.
And that's the danger, isn't it, for the Aussies now? They've put a few goals on the board really early. This is going to be easy. We'll just press up the ground. And the Irish have said, thanks very much. We're going to spank you on the return.
Clara Fitzpatrick's moved into the ruck here for the Irish. Aaron Fitzpatrick as well as marking Prasparkas. Strong, beautiful tap down at Marinoff. Runs straight to Fitzpatrick holding the ball. And they want to take the advantage and take off. They surge forward, the Irish. The chain of hand passes ends with Dooley. They've got another one on the board. That's more like it.
Well, you've got to love this style of footy, Shiloh. It's they did promise the Irish. They promised that they would run at the game. They promised chaos. They promised we'd see a different version of AFLW than what we've seen before, and this ability to square up, that we know a lot about the Irish pride and the passion for their country, but the ability to bounce back after having the first 3 goals kicked against them is high resilience, and we know that's a hallmark of Ireland.
Just the vision there, the lateral vision to be able to know where each other are ahead of the game. You know, they've got 2 game plans they can work to, and one is the Gaelic one and one is the Aussie one. The Aussies have got one, so they've got some extra arsenal there, the Irish.
Key defender Fitzpatrick, Clara Fitzpatrick in the ruck now, so they've been so dominant so far, the Aussies. Strong's going to ruck it straight down to herself. Gave it off. She was brought down in a brilliant tackle, though. It was Marinoff that was caught in there. And the question's been asked by Ron Fitzpatrick. There's 2 Fitzpatricks, 2 McCarthys. Wouldn't expect anything else from this all-Ireland side. Prasparkas reads it best off hands. She's caught in a 3-person tackle, and now Ebony can't break clear.
You just see the Irish wingers, Ulster O'Dwyer in particular, they're trying to squeeze the Aussies in at stoppage and bring numbers up, which is leaving Brie Conan spare behind this stoppage.
Strom into space. It'll sit for Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Was it a clear handball? No, it wasn't. It'll come back. Free kick to Georgie Prasparkas, the Cats star player. She sends a wobbler in the direction it was of Ella Roberts. Gain under the pump here. Good little hip and shoulder applied by Hanks. This time McCarthy's got it, sends it out wide. Will it sit for Fitzpatrick? It does. She's a speedster. Morrison catches her, brings her down. Now the Aussies have got it through Ella Roberts.
Calls for a bit of calm. Checks the kick to Hodder. Outstanding from Roberts.
Threaded the needle there with the smallest player on the field. Had 2 grabs at it. Just never took her eye off it. So strong up forward.
The left foot from Charlie Thomas under pressure as well to set this play up was exceptional, and a reason why she's in this game. What a star.
Courtney Otter, she's won a Goal of the Year award in the AFLW Mark of the Year as well. All-Australian last year. Sends the kick on its way, and it just doesn't hold its line.
Got herself a new goal-kicking routine in the off-season.
Oh, this is dangerous, the kick in. It's just killed over the line by T. Smith. That's the tricky part, Kel. Sorry, just you don't really want to go long to Strom or Scholl, so the short kick is the dangerous one, but it might be the only option at this point for Ireland on kicking. Lauren Arnell, former Port Adelaide coach, alongside Shiloh Curtis, Jess Webster, Kelly Underwood in commentary. Got Lauren Wood and Taylor Smith on the boundary for us this afternoon. This historic clash. The Irish get it to halfway mark before Harriet Cordner, the Blues defender, is able to chop it off. Sends it back into attack. It sits up here for Ella Roberts. Great spoil by Jen Dunn, the Brisbane Lions premiership player. Trying to get it was strong. Dunn's got it. She gets the handball away. Wall's involved. That's Vicky Wall. Does it sit here for Ash McCarthy? She does break the tackle. Her kick, though, ricochets in the direction of O'Shea, and a couple of Aussies wrap her up. And look at that. Push and shove Vicky Wall. Going toe-to-toe with Maddie Gay. Push and shove. Slightly more acceptable if it's not a North Melbourne teammate, am I right?
Thanks. Squeezes a little kick forward. Big ball to one. O'Shea attacked it hard. Sends it inside forward 50 for Ireland. And one-on-one, it's going to bounce in front of Paris McCarthy. As Thomas to contend with. McCarthy was caught. The tackle wasn't rewarded. It goes out of play. And it will be a last touch. Free kick.
Erica O'Shea has been super for Ireland so far. The 4 disposals, 3 contested possessions, leading the way in that element for her country.
So it will be a last disposal free kick to Australia in front of the packed hill at North Sydney Oval. Smith bombs it to a contest down the line. Dwyer gets there first, goes to ground. That's out of bounds on the foot. And Ireland can reset at halfback.
And inside 50 so far, 10-5 going Australia's way, but doesn't feel like that. Ireland really have found their groove after those opening few minutes.
Geelong's defender, Rachel Kearns, with this kick straight to Strong. The ruck for Fremantle, and the little give, and they go Mackenzie. Spoiled bodies on the line. Here's a chance. Prasparkas. Oh, she sells the dummy, runs into trouble. Thinking about it, caught by Roberts, picked up by Hanks. Hits the post. Matilda Scholes throwing her strength and size around, which we love in this contest. And Tyler Hanks, an absolute hallmark of her game, which allows her to be one of the very best mids in this competition, is how clean she is at ground level and so close to finishing that goal.
Jen Dunn to send it long to the outer side. Some bodywork done by McDonough. Couldn't come down with the grabber. She's going to receive the hand pass here. There's a free kick whistle on play. It's Australia's free kick as McDonough was streaming inside forward 50. The best and fairest winner in All-Australian from Hawthorn last season. Hanks shoots the kick out wide to Marinoff. Genuine superstars of the AFLW. Sends Australia into attack. O'Dwyer up against Hoare. Close to the boundary line. O'Dwyer give it off to Boyle Carr. It's close to the line, and it's going to be thrown back in.
Just notice here, the Irish took the first 5-6 minutes of the game to settle in defensively and pick up the speed of the game, which is a bit of a surprise. But now very close checking 1v1, which in a rep game, it's probably the easiest way to go as a coach perspective is just go 1v1 and make it simple for the players. So Schultz in front position, straight down to Lally. Marinoff lays a tackle. And that'll be holding the ball. So it'll be a free kick going to Ebony. One of the best tacklers in the game, the Adelaide Crows captain. One of 7 captains for the Australian team. She's going to go for home. It's touched on the line.
Australia with the first 3 goals of the match. Ireland have hit back with the last 2. Done. Measures the kick nicely to Ashley McCarthy. Now to O'Dwyer in the back 50. Is a Lions premiership star. And so teammate Sophie Conway stands the mark. What feedback Sophie's giving her at the moment. Long kick to a contest. Shoulders out the back. Hand pass partially deflected. McLaughlin, McCarthy. They're under pressure, the Irish. Kearns. Off to O'Dwyer. What can she do on the left? Sends it down the line. Oh, big contest. Great commitment from all players. Bogue trying to just soccer it forward. Ends up going again with a hand pass. Will she infringe? There's a free kick for a legging, and it will be an Ireland free kick.
It was an exceptional contest from Blahim Bogue. Her ability to bring the ball to ground against Talia Gillard, who's significantly taller. Great play.
Kicked Ireland's first goal a few minutes ago. This time she's looking to pass it off. The North Melbourne premiership player. Long to the teeth of goal. Australia with the numbers. Didn't quite kill it in the end. Live ball at the top of the square. Riddell is fighting for it for Australia over the top on McCarthy. And we're going to get a ball up.
We're starting to see elements of the Irish game. They're really keen to move the ball forward by hand or little toe poke forward, knowing they've got teammates around the contest.
McDonough in the ruck, but it goes to Riddell, the dunk kick. And it pays off. Randall. Sends it to centre half back, and a well-weighted mark taken by McKenzie. Gives it off Birch. Puts it out in front. Here's Garner. Overruns it. Comes back. Sarah Rowe with a dinky kick to the outer wing. Garner. Loose ball. They sort of left it there, the Irish, for someone else to pick up. Kate Hoare attacks it. Breaks one, breaks 2. Handball over the top. This is going to be hard for Jazzy. She needs to beat about 5. And she couldn't. She can do everything but just about that. And McCarthy with the kick has been picked off by the Aussies.
Thomas sends it into the pocket for Australia. Conway the target. Now some work to do at ground level, loses her feet. Plenty of numbers around this, and the umpire will come in and sort it all out.
Really impressive spoiling their work by the Irish. Across the whole ground, they've worked really hard. The Australians aren't able to take any easy, uncontested marks at the moment.
Randall with a tap, close to the line. Conti tries to keep it alive. She does so in the end. That didn't go out. Riddell caught by a couple of Irish. Brought to a halt.
Ash McCarthy leading the way with disposals for Ireland is really their only main mid. 7 so far.
And they get a defensive stop here, the Irish. Big stoppage, fired out the side. No one can pick it up. Hanks busy, right up against the line. It's handballed up into the air by Garner. Still alive footy. Conti falls over. Set upon was Hoare. And this time, McCarthy gets it out. O'Dowd, Ailish O'Dowd, the Giants ruck. And Sophie Conway, plenty of experience. Two-time All-Australian on the wing. Sends it to the hot spot. It ricochets the way of Kate Hoare on the outside of the boot. Malloy, Chloe Malloy.
I tell you what, guys, there was a lot of competition among these two teams when it came to the crowd, who was going to outnumber who. It's feeling a little bit like here at ground level, it might just be the Irish. When they got that run on with a couple of goals, they were in full voice here in the crowd. A lot of county flags flying. Conditions really couldn't be better down here. A little chill in the air, but still, as a mill pond, we've been lucky.
Thank you, Loz. It's Rowe up against Hanks. Fires out a hand pass to Dwyer. Steps around Riddell and sends it down the line. Fitzpatrick worked away to front position on Birch. Birch, though, to be able to handle the footy. Hands it to Strom. And now Thomas. And kick out wide is a good one to find Marinoff. It's called to play on. We'll have to move it to half forward. Strong hands from Boy. Can turn and go. Sends it to full forward. Garner! Oh, another big collision. Great to see the bodies on the line. No player taking a backward step out there at the moment. Another touch from McCarthy, but it's a turnover straight into the lap. One of the best players in the AFLW in Ash Riddell.
This has been the most difficult part for Ireland. The time in front half for Australia has been significant. And just the work rate from the Irish to get numbers to the contest has been great, but it leaves them completely outnumbered when they do an exit dump kick like that.
5-time All-Australian in the league's best player last year, Ash Riddell, can't make the most of her opportunity.
And yeah, you're right there, Loz. They're just lots of numbers, and their closing speed, the pace of the Irish players is something really special. But it allows them to get numbers at the contest. But as you said, on that rebound, often been found outnumbered.
Free kick going the way of the Aussies, and Riddell will take it. So there were danger signs early as Australia kicked the first 3 majors, but the Irish hit back with the next 2, and the margin is 12 points at quarter time. The men first played Australia-Ireland in 1984, and they last played in 2017, so nearly 10 years since we've seen these 2 countries square off. Ireland leads the men's head-to-head 21-19, with a couple of draws in there from their 42 matches. Who will draw first blood in this women's game? At the first break, it's Australia by 12. Welcome back to this historic AFLW rep footy clash between Australia and Ireland, live and exclusive on Fox Footy. It is Australia with a 12-point lead in front of a sellout crowd at this beautiful North Sydney Oval. It's been a history-making ground for women's sport over the years. It was the first ever venue for women's NRL State of Origin. And Elise Perry scored a double century, not out against England in the Ashes going back a few years ago. And this is history in the making here today. Lauren Arnell and Shiloh Curtis, we're going to get your thoughts in a minute, but first down to Taylor Smith, who is with her Swans coach, but for today, the Island coach. Taylor, take it away.
Colin, how have you seen the game unfold so far?
Oh, I think it's obviously they have a lot of dominance around the stoppage, so we need to get on top of that a little bit. And just field position, we need to get a bit of territory. At the minute, we're just kind of parking our D50, so we just need to get the ball out as quick as we can.
We've noticed that you play a lot by the hands. Are you adding that Irish flair in there to take that territory?
Yeah, you know how it is. We got to run and carry. We're quick, we're speed. You got to play to our strengths, okay? Minimise theirs, but play to ours.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll let you get back to the box.
Of course, I read in the new Swans coach, and Taylor Smith, their star recruit. Lauren Arnell, the numbers in that first quarter.
Look, the ones that stand out for me, obviously Colin's reference, the time in front half for Australia is significant. 18 marks to 3, so we know Australia want to kick mark and control the ball. I love the way the Irish responded after losing down on those first couple of goals. Just a run and gun, over handball, and I hope Colin's message to the Irish was just keep running at them, because we know how insanely fit the Irish crew are, and I think Australia just need to settle a little bit. They're almost overdoing sharing the ball.
Australia by 12 points at quarter time as we get the second underway. It's Cronin up against Scholes and Ruck, who wins the tap. Garner had a little bit of a fumble. She's still fighting after it. Garner, she's tackled by McLaughlin. Balls gets out to the wing. Fitzpatrick, kick to the advantage of McCarthy. Didn't quite get the kind bounce. Birch is right there with her. McCarthy. Now Fitzpatrick continue to run. Birch, she's turned it over to Kelly. Has to dance around Riddell. Then skies it inside forward 50. Bogue the target over her head. And Finn kept on running. Maloney back to Bogue with the finishing touches. Outstanding from the Irish.
Well, that was awesome work there, wasn't it? Just the work, just being able to put the football in front of their teammates, knowing they've got the speed and pace to be able to get the ball into the space needed. But for me, it was Maloney, that little touch there. She doesn't need much time. She's probably the cleanest of all the Irish players, and just that little give just bought her teammates some time for a wonderful finish in front of goal.
Lauren Woods on the boundary. Loz.
I had an ear on Darren Crocker's address at quarter time, team. He's got to make this Irish team defend. That's what he has told his players. They can't let them get out pretty much exactly like they just did and produce that Irish speed. So the Aussies have been told they've got to lock them down.
Vicky Wall getting stuck into Georgie Prasparkas at this stoppage. We knew that was coming.
Ronan giving away a few centimetres against Schultz. Schultz in the air and at ground level to Garner. Shoved in the back, gets it back to Maddie Gay. Kicks down into the forward 50. And that's a well-timed mark by Dana Finn. Couldn't quite hit up her teammates. Going to come back in quickly. Garner again. Prasparkas. There's loose Aussie players everywhere. Conti. Chance for Malloy. She's caught. Conti goes in and helps her out. Flares it out wide. Morrison short. And unmarked is Randall.
There's genuine class there from Monconti. And again, to explain my point earlier a little bit further, when you've got names like Conti, Garner, Kate Hall, Matilda Scholes, Georgie Prasparkas asking for the footy, you want to share the ball and give it to them, and I think the Australians will do well to settle a little bit more and trust themselves with the decisions they're making with the footy, which Conti did.
Kicked 82 goals in her 105 games in the AFLW, and she's got her second. And they skip out to a 12-point lead again.
Well, that worked there by the Australians. Just spoke there, Loz, about all those names coming through there. It ends up in the hands of Nina Morrison, of course, a late call-up into this team. But Randall sat there for ages, unmarked, and she knew exactly what was ahead of her. And they were just trying to get forward one more, release one, themselves from one more Irish player. Finally found some space, but Morrison knew that was coming, knew she was just waiting on the end of it, got the ball, and Randall just sat there all on her own for, it felt like an eternity.
Vicky Wall looks like now she's going to Garner for this centre ball up. Shows again that beautiful leap on display down to Riddell. Free kick to the Australians. And Riddell send them forward once again. Riddell will kick it long. Garner's the target. She floated forward. Good defensive work from Wall. Garner, Hodder's also lurking. Always dangerous in these situations. To Garner, Morrison, the snap from the pocket. To mark in the goal square. Chloe Malloy.
It was great to see Chloe Malloy back in the game. Of course, had all of last year off.
Sydney Swans superstar, point-blank range, and steadies the ship for Australia.
Well, Nina Morrison, the 2-goal assist to start off this second quarter, and what a classy player and what a privilege as an Australian team to have Nina Morrison out on a wing. We know that's where she started her career. I'd suggest her best foot is inside, but there's such a deep Australian midfield here tonight. Unbelievable footy in the last 2-goal assists for Nina Morrison.
Just a beautifully structured player too, so aware of where her teammates are around the ground. But I'm talking about classy players. Chloe Malloy, she's so classy in front of goal. Brilliant goal last year, and of course, 3-time All-Australian. Had her injury concerns the last couple of years. The Swans desperately want her up and firing this year. It's really good signs for her tonight already, moving really well.
10 months out after a second bout of back surgery, her first official game, and she is smiling. Great to see her back. Schultz, Georgie Prasparkas. To Riddell, goes to ground. Diving in was Conti. And Ash McCarthy gets it inside 50. Where are the numbers? Well done by Charlie Thomas. Well-weighted pass to Morrison. Squares the kick. And that was just a little bit too much on her. Overcooking it was Harriet Cordner.
And again, good pressure there by the Irish to be able to force the Australians to make the error.
Molly Fitzpatrick kicks it in. Here's a chance. Oh, a fumble. Dropped it cold, did McCarthy, and then tackled beautifully by Cordner.
Cordner might be lucky there. That wasn't called a dump tackle. Ash McCarthy's been so important for this Irish team. 9 disposals already early in this second quarter.
Wendy McDonough needs to get into this game. And a free kick from McDonough goes the way of Strong. So the Aussies will look to build from the back with another foray forward. Sharon's in the hand of the league's best player last year, Riddell. Flying Roberts. Timed it nearly to perfection. Oh, head clash. Kearns. She is a tough nut from Geelong. Straight into Tyler Hanks.
Another tough nut. Not going to shirk that contest. Jeez, it was a great hit.
Strong down to Riddell, harassed off it by McCarthy. Aggressive for the footy on the wing. And there's no winner out of all that. Once the sun starts to set here at North Sydney Oval, it really is a picturesque place here in Sydney. Packed crowd, you love to see it. It's first ever Australia versus Ireland representative game. Rowe gets a handball out for Ireland, only as far as Prasparkas to Riddell. Looks to go inboard to Hoare. Links up, oh look out, McKenzie is caught and run down holding the ball. And they want to take, you can see their intent, Ireland, they want to take off. It's going to come back to McDonough. He sends it inside forward, 50, Birch heads to it, no mark. Thomas was caught, Marinoff still alive here for Ireland. Paris McCarthy to Maloney, gets on the right, sends it to the teeth of goal. Blaheen Bogue again! What an outstanding 12 months this star player has had. She did not play in 2024, could not crack the formidable North Melbourne side. Got her opportunity last year, 25 goals and a premiership. She's lining up for a third. And she pops it through. And the Irish hit back.
It was a wonderful effort there by Blaheen, but the work from Ash Maloney as well to be able to get herself some space and be able to bring the ball back in towards the corridor. She's such a clever player, Maloney, but Bogue there just gets rid of one and then takes a contested mark from behind on the second player. A class act and just so strong aerially. Lovely little finish there, but she's causing the Australians all sorts of trouble in the back half of the ground. What a wonderful start for her tonight. Might be one for Darren Crocker to start considering. Does he throw Libby Birch? Gillard's got Maloney, and I think that matchup stays. But do you throw Libby Birch to Bogue now that she's already kicked 3 goals?
Fitzpatrick can't quite beat Strong. Prasparkas goes without it, and Hanks has caught. Ronnie Fitzpatrick with the strapping around her head. Obviously an early knock. Strong takes it out of the ruck. She handballs to Smith, to Prasparkas out wide, to her Geelong teammate in Morrison. Keeps it low, can Hoard trap it. She goes back, couldn't quite win it again. Well played by O'Shea. Now it's a loose ball. Marinoff fires out the handball. Strong, standing start, inside 50. It'll beat a couple and eventually roll over the line in front of Jennifer Dunn, the Brisbane Lions defender, premiership defender. Of course, Craig Starcevich, the senior assistant coach for Ireland.
No Irish ruck at all. Expect Matilda Scholes to take this and have a shot. She's joined late.
Oh, it was Fitzpatrick who applied the pressure, and Scholes, look out! Conti with a rundown tackle on McLaughlin, squeezes a kick forward. Putting numbers around this footy, and Smith somehow emerges with it. Sends it to full forward for Australia. No mark. Gets out the back. Kosh with the clearing kick. Have to be touched before it goes over the line, it is. And Sarah Rose claiming it, but will be a throw in on the outer side. North Sydney Oval looking an absolute treat here this afternoon.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen a person so fired up than Sarah Rose's father, Alan, who's in the crowd today.
He was good value pre-game, wasn't he?
Oh, he is pumped. Strong down to Prasparkas. How beautiful was that ruck work? Outside of the boot, it'll sit in the air. It flares past Roberts. O'Shea with the tidy pick-up. Out to a one-on-one. It was McKenzie up against Maloney. Maloney sees it over. Maloney, there she is, the star goal kicker, number 45 with the red hair. They call her Lingy.
She's getting into Nina Morrison too, her teammate at Geelong. We thought, we heard pre-game that, in the lead-up to this game, there was going to be a bit of a conversation with them on the field. We've seen that now. Keep an eye on it.
Fitzpatrick up against Strong in ruck. He gives it to Morrison. She was tackled immediately by Gavin Mangan. Marinoff hooks it around the corner. It bounces inside forward 50 past O'Shea. Potter. That's a smart kick in the end, and Rose found herself in a bit of space. Wants to send it to the outer side. Oh, another big contest coming up. Smith is there for Australia. O'Dwyer back to Rose. Squeezes a kick forward. A bouncing ball in the middle of the ground. Gets out the back. Gay slaps it forward for Australia. Only as far as Martin. It's broken up by Birch. Maloney keeps it alive for Ireland to Bogue. No, not quite this time. Wonderful pick up at ground level. Keeps it alive. Boyle Carr's caught. They still search forward. Australia with the numbers in the last line of defence. Coming through Lally. Gets a handball away. Scrappy kick forward. O'Dwyer. Time. Space. And a goal!
Well, we've seen Orla O'Dwyer do that many, many times for the Brisbane Lions, and I was very fortunate to be witness to that in her first 2 seasons of AFLW. But what a captain's goal, Cal. Perfectly timed. Great spot, and shows Orla's footy smarts. She's been in the league now for a long period of time. She's a double premiership player. To sit in that spot is exceptional football smarts, and just shows her ability as an AFLW player and this captain of Ireland. Well done, Orla.
She's the first Irish woman to be named All-Australian. 8th season in the competition. Her and Cora Staunton led the way, and Lauren Arnell won a premiership alongside her at Brisbane. So they peg one back. It's just a kick in it. Entertaining clash. It has lived up to all the hype, everything we'd hoped for, and a scrap in the centre. Can anyone clear it?
I will declare my bias towards Matilda as the former Port Adelaide senior coach, but I'd suggest if she can get inside stoppage here and break up play, the Irish are starting to get on top here at stoppage.
It's a throw. Free kick to the Aussies. Marinoff wants to go on that trusty left. Puts it out in front of Roberts. Oh, beautiful. Exquisite delivery. The West Coast Eagles star oozes talent.
Now back herself in here. It's not a true 50. This ground is really short.
She's got a delightful kick on her too, Ella Roberts, from Margaret River. One of the stars of the AFLW. She's just going to hang it out. It slews off the side of the boot. Player went down, Randall. There's a whistle, and the umpire says, yep, free kick to Australia. Randall's going to line up for her third, and it goes against Kaylee Cronin.
Well, there's no doubt I've mozzed Ella Roberts with that kick, but this is the balance for Ireland. I think if Australia can regain contested possession inside and be more direct and put the ball up in the air in their front half, it's going to be very difficult for the Irish defenders who are undersized.
Well, like Kangaroos premiership teammate Bogue's got 3 up one end, and she replies with 3 up the other. Back to 12 points.
Well, when Australia's able to just slow the game down and keep the ball in a kick mark passage of play, they're able to maintain possession. We saw there the free kick that came out of the centre. Marinoff just put the footy in front of Roberts, who just let up. Her kick wasn't amazing, but it's what happened downfield. Randall, the free kick was soft, but she knew the contact was coming. She went to ground, played it perfectly, and when she's that close, she's going to finish.
We saw all of that in the Harvey Norman replay. Talia Randall with 3 goals. And a teammate up the other end in different colours. Well, Bogue also with the 3 majors. Australia 6-6, Ireland 5 straight. Accurate in front of goal. Australia, though, with more scoring opportunities so far. Back in the middle we go. Strong with the tap down to Riddell. Quick hands back to Strong. Jams it on the boot. Inside forward 50. Curls from behind. Crash the contest. O'Shea toe pokes it forward. O'Dwyer left it behind. McCarthy, Garner over the top of her. And the umpire's letting it play a little before calling for a ball up.
Strom asserting her dominance as well as the All-Australian ruck from last year. 12 disposals and 4 clearances.
Randall. O'Shea there. Of course, Kangaroos teammate. Toe poke off the turf. O'Dwyer with a fumble. And it comes out. This is O'Dowd. Up in the air it hangs. Knocked down. Gordner. Happy to see it over. Got that match up with Maloney.
You've seen some really beautiful off-the-ground pickups from the Irish in the Gaelic game. The difference between the men's and the women's game, the women are allowed to pick the ball up off the ground as long as they're standing up when they do it. So they've learned naturally how to be really clean off the deck, and we're seeing that on show when the ball's in play.
Hacked out of there. Air there from Rowe towards McDonough. Was she held? Fitzpatrick. Anya thinks she was. Anya stripped of it again. Anya McDonough trying to get involved in this contest. Here's Conan handballing it over the top. Riddell into the centre. Hodder. Now she's got pace. She wants to take off. She's got Conway. Centre half forward. They're flying forward for her. And spears it down the throat of Randall, who will line up for her fourth.
Our game doesn't get any better than that, Cal. Brie Conan's decision. She had a lot of front-on pressure, took time with the footy. Handball released to a teammate out of the back half, and wow, Courtney Hodder to Sophie Conway. We've seen that before. And a delightful kick from Conway to Talia Randall, who has been the dominant forward alongside Laheen Bogue in this game so far.
Two-time premiership player, two-time North Melbourne leading goal kicker for the most on the ground, keeps it low and accurate. Back out to an 18-point lead.
Again, just some really brilliant work from the back half there. Just set up so nicely. The little outside kick too to Hodder that was running through to the corridor. Of course, a couple of Brisbane Lions, and of course, Conway knows exactly where a former Brisbane Lions teammate in Talia Randall was. Even Randall gives her the thumbs up and says, thanks, mate, thanks for the pass. She knew that she was close enough. Kept it nice and low. Beautiful finish.
She's a remarkable story, Talia Randall. Didn't kick a goal until her 5th season in the AFLW. Of course, started her career as a defender before moving forward. Now has over 80 goals to her career, and 4 today. So played in a couple of losing grand finals as well before finally tasting premiership success with North Melbourne. Back in the middle we go, Riddell. To go back to Strong. Got a handball away. It works out to Hodder as Morrison in support. That's a high up and under kick, a tough one to mark. Look out, Garner! In the end, she was the only one who really went for it.
The Australians displaying a lot of patience for each other and good balance at stoppage. I think they've realised that if they can win the hit out or lose the hit out, if they can get first hands underneath and drive through and release handball, that's really starting to work for them to get clean possession going inside 50.
The 8-time All-Australian and captain of this Australian side sends the kick on its way, and she gets herself a captain's goal.
Well, the 10th disposal for Jazz Garner. It's her first goal for the game. She just had all the composure in the world. Bit of a hospital kick. You don't like to be underneath those laws, but when they do come, you know who you want underneath it. And Jazz Garner, we spoke about the work that she did nice and early, of course, the first goal kicker in this competition, premiership player, but just the way in which she's taken her game to another level as the captain of North Melbourne as well. Work rate, phenomenal. Leadership has just grown extraordinarily. 8-time All-Australian, just a wonderful athlete in this competition.
And for those new to the game, she's probably most known for being the best player in the competition to have not won the league MVP.
Surely that's to come this year, Kel. Surely.
We've said it for how many years now?
I think her teammate Ash Riddell might have something to say about that.
And Ash Riddell, of course, the competition leading best player.
Oh, look at the leap on Schultz to Hall, free kick, Mean Hurl. There's one of the other captains, the Melbourne captain, premiership player, star at the comp, spotted Zippy. Rather, it's Hanks. Hanks goes out wide, Charlie Thomas. She's looking, she's hanging it up in the air, setting it there for Roberts. And West Coast Eagles teammate, quick snap from Garner, offline.
A very close eye down here at ground level team on Georgie Pressbarkers from the Geelong Cats. She spent the last 4 or 5 minutes in the rooms after copping a knock to the throat. So she's being assessed by the medicos at the moment. Obviously, the aim of today is to get everybody unscathed through to round 1. So we'll keep you updated.
Absolutely. Thanks, Loz. Round 1 kicking off next Sunday with a doubleheader at Marvel Stadium as Cronin restarts play. The Irish, and as far as Conan to Riddell, back to Conan, over the top to Hanks, wants to slap it onto Birch, had a little fumble, and then it's a turn tackler. It spills to O'Dwyer, scraps a kick forward, but she's turned it over. Cordner.
And the pressure on that kick has just come from the contact the Australians have been able to apply in the last 5 minutes or so. Irish got no space at the moment. Can't get their hands on the footy cleanly either.
Australia playing a bit of tempo footy. Ball called to play on now. Plays it inboard to Conan, who wants to continue to switch to the outer side. Ball playing a bit of pressure on Thomas, good enough to take the mark. And balls out into the path of Birch, a couple of fumbles. Look out, Malloy comes in with a big bump. Birch got her kick away. It's turned over as Jennifer Dunn stands in the way. Most famously won an All-Ireland title and an AFLW premiership in the same year. She sends it to a contest, almost turned it over to her teammate, and Brie Conan, who turns tackler and locks things up on the outside.
Bree's parents...
The free kick, sorry, to Brie.
Brie's parents here today. Lauren Arnell, she sends it inside 50, slipped through the hands of Roberts. They've driven down from Magnetic Island. Squirts out the side to Conway! Sophie Conway with some boundary brilliance!
Well, we know Soph loves a goal celebration, and she may not have one better than that right in front of the stand there. And Brie Conan's pressure inside was important. You mentioned her parents, Terry and Rob, and her new husband, Luke. What an exceptional play there from Sophie Conway. The snap was very comparable to Blaheem Bodes earlier in the game.
And speak of the Conans, their other daughter is playing for the Aussie Diamonds today.
You're going all right if you've got one playing in the Com Games, Kara's goal shooter for Australia, and Bree's lining up here for Australia v Ireland. The first ever international game of AFLW.
Do you send one parent there and keep one parent here?
Well, no, Bree must be the favourite because they drove here.
Australia out now to a new game-high 31-point lead in the middle. Scholes. McDonough and a play at it. Hanks. Now it gets out to O'Dwyer. There's a player down in the middle of the ground. It looks like it might be Anya McDonough. So we're just going to hold play here. And what can you see from ground level, Loz?
she's in a clear amount of discomfort, as you can see there right in the middle of the ground. Anya McDonough appears to be grasping her right elbow. So maybe an arm, elbow. It doesn't look like a shoulder. So she's in the hands of medical staff at the moment. Half-time could come at a nice moment for her as she just makes her way from the ground. But clearly very, very distressed, Anya McDonough from the Hawks.
Yeah, thanks, Loz. These are definitely the scenes we don't want to see in any kind of representative match with the season starting in a couple of weeks. Hawthorn play Melbourne on a Thursday night clash in round 1 in just under 2 weeks' time. So Anya McDonough heading to the bench and will get that right arm or elbow looked at. It certainly doesn't look too good. So she'll head straight down to the rooms and we'll give an update when we can. Meanwhile, players restarted. A long kick inside forward 50 for Ireland. It's off hands. Looking at ground level, Brogue again. She's already got 3. So almost kicked it and turned it over to her premiership teammate, and Libby Birch. Border Scholes, Conway in close confines. Lally wraps her up and is going to get rewarded.
Yeah, great rewards for effort there. And a really good reset here by the Irish after McDonough's injury. Really good to get that forward 50 entry. And just the pressure there to extract the free kick.
Ola Lally, she played in Meath's maiden All-Ireland Championship before turning her attention to the AFLW. 37 games under her belt. Only played 7 games last year before a bit of injury trouble. Here she is from the pocket. She's just hooked it. It's first blemish for Ireland. This afternoon, Australia still with a commanding 30-point lead. As the lights start to take full effect here at North Sydney Oval, a wonderful crowd packed in to witness this historic representative game between Australia and Ireland. After the Australians led by 12 points at quarter time, they've come out and made a bit of a statement here in this second quarter. Fans loving what they're seeing at the moment. So it's half-time here at North Sydney Oval, a dominant quarter from the Australians. They lead 9-7-61 to 5-1-31 at half-time. So Ash Riddell up to the leading disposal winner for Australia with 15 in that first half. Lynn Strong in the ruck with 13. Her and Matilda Scholes have caused all sorts of headaches in the centre bout stoppages. Laura O'Dwyer, the captain of Ireland, she's up to 11 disposals at the half for Ireland, as well as we head to ground level to Lauren Wood.
Thanks, Jess. Here with Adelaide ball winner, usually Ebony Marinoff, but Team Australia today. Noffy, you've played a lot of big finals, grand finals as well. How's this compare?
Oh, no, it's unbelievable. It's been an awesome few days, but the crowd here is electric, and I'm sure both teams are just soaking up the atmosphere, and what a spectacle for AFLW.
If they'd asked you before the game if you'd take a 5 or 6 goal lead into half-time, I'm sure you would have taken it. Must feel good.
Absolutely. We know the Irish are going to keep going. They're very fast. The way they move the ball is super exciting, but we think our organisation, just our skill set in Australia will hopefully get us across the line, but a good start so far.
Doesn't feel like anyone's taking a backward step, including teammates.
I know, it's absolutely so much fun out there. It's really hot. It feels like finals footy, but I just feel so privileged to be playing with the best across the country.
Big second half ahead. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ebony Marinoff, the 3-time premiership star for Adelaide, has never missed an AFLW game, but what a sight to see it is at North Sydney Oval for Australia taking on Ireland in a historic AFLW representative game, and it is Australia leading by 30 points at half-time.
seen here. It has been 14 goals piled on and none better than Sophie Conway's snap from the pocket. Sydney sunset on a beautiful Saturday evening, and we are seeing history in the making in this all-Australian Island representative international match. Australia leads it by 30 points at half-time. Kelly Underwood alongside Lauren Arnell, Taylor Smith and Lauren Wood. And Loz, you've been at ground level. What's the vibe been like in the front of this sellout first ever occasion?
Oh, it's as high as anything, isn't it? It's everything we could have hoped that it would be. It's been electric footy. It's been an absolutely electric atmosphere. The Irish had to stay in touch early, didn't they? They fired away those couple of goals exactly when they needed them and stayed in touch.
Let's have a look at our Amy impact moment, Lauren Arnell, and talk us through it, because when the Aussies have got control, the skill, there's hardly any fumbles. It's beautiful to watch.
No, and my old teammate, Brie Conan, an excellent decision just to look for that overlap handball for Ash Riddell, and lovely kick into Hodder. And we know that overlap run, the Brisbane Lions game style, and North Melbourne, to be fair. Conway's entry kick there for a very strong leading player in Talia Randall. She's been one of the best players on the ground, but that kick mark game, but playing fast enough is probably the balance for Australia now. Is at times the Irish defence have slowed them down. I think it's going to be how much quicker can they play, and very similar to that North Melbourne style that we've seen under Darren Crocker for many years now.
Two North Melbourne premiership teammates are starring when it comes to the goal kicking. So we've seen Talia Randall beat the 4 goals, but Taylor Smith, we've also seen Blaheem Bogue with her 3 goals. You're a big key forward. Tell us what about Blaheem Bogue is that's almost unstoppable in that first half.
She's been fantastic, and she's really picking up right where she left off last year. She obviously spent her first season on the sidelines with an injury. She's gone home, kicking goals into a trailer, I believe, back home, and then come out and taking contested marks. She's clean off the ground. She's clean in the air. She's definitely someone we as players study, we watch. She's starting to be dangerous, and she's really a handful for Australia at the moment.
She's an incredible story. I mean, as you said, All-Australian last season. She watched her teammates win a premiership in her first year, and she's really, she's played with pride for her club over the last 12 months. She's playing with pride for her country now, and will keep them in touch.
Little injury for the Australian team. Tell us about it.
There is, unfortunately, reported about Georgie Prespakis spending quite much of that second quarter in the rooms with that knock to the throat. I've just spoken to Team Australia. Unfortunately, Georgie Prespakis from the Cats will take no further part in the game. You wouldn't be taking any risks, would you, a week out from round 1? So we know that this match sees 9 players on the bench as part of that rotation and managed minutes policy. So it'll be down to 8 for Team Australia.
Okay, can you mount a case for the Irish comeback?
Oh, I think the message from Colin O'Riordan needs to be keep running at the game, and I think they can get nice and close.
All right, still got a second half coming up. What a moment for these little NAB Oz kickers on the most beautiful night here in Sydney at the most picturesque North Sydney Oval in front of a sellout crowd. And look at the little ones. The next generation, maybe they're pulling on an Australian or an Irish jumper one day.
Yeah, Daisy. Let's go. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. Oh, that was aggressive. I said if that goes in, we're going to win. And I went in, so.
Oh, well. And you know your ruck when you're forward?
Yeah.
As in like 450?
And there's like a deep, I'm going to play like a deep forward and then ruck, or just whatever. No.
Let's go, big dog.
No, my little angels, my little girls.
And that is the sounds of Matilda Scholes, a two-time Best and Fairest winner from Port Adelaide and All-Australian last year at just 21 years of age. She is the future of the AFLW competition. A beautiful sight here at North Sydney Oval. The second half not too far away, but let's head downstairs. Lauren Wood is with the chairs of selection for these two sides today. It is, of course, Australian Football Hall of Fame member Debbie Lee and the first Irish woman to join the AFLW in former giant Cora Staunton. Down to you, Loz.
Thanks very much, Jess. Cora, the first Irish woman to play AFLW and, of course, a Gaelic superstar representing your country on a number of occasions. Did you ever think a night like this had come to fruition with a Sharon?
No, I suppose this time 9 years ago when I came over for season 2, I never thought we'd have 46 Irish players in the league now, and yeah, for sure I never thought this would happen. What a wonderful occasion to see such a crowd here and to see so many Irish people supporting the game.
Deb, they might have outnumbered the Aussies in the crowd. What have you made of the game so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic. The first half was really hot potato, really, wasn't it? And they really came out firing, and we knew that. So hopefully the second half, the Aussies come home.
Cora, you've had a big week. Your county mayor, of course, you were back home for that drought-breaking win. You obviously hope the Irish can replicate that from here.
Yeah, for sure. I hope after Mayo wins the All-Ireland for the first time in 75 years, I'm sure we've plenty of Mayo spirit out there. So yeah, it's been a brilliant week at home, and yeah, hopefully the Irish can go hard in the second half and catch back a few of the goals.
Let's hope for a good second half. One of these two will present the medal.
Thanks so much, Loz. Great stuff. Great to see Cora Staunton as well back in Australia after the celebrations continuing over in Mayo. No doubt a few people tuning in to watch tonight's clash. So second half underway. Maloney crashes the pack hard. Couldn't quite come down with a mark. Lurking is Riddell. And she was caught. He's going to be wrapped up. It was amazing, Shiloh, what Cora Staunton mentioned. There's 46 Irish players on AFLW lists at the moment, 8 premierships, 9 All-Australians between them. There's also been 30 more players who have come across from Ireland and represented the AFLW. That's an extraordinary number.
It is pretty phenomenal. A couple of captains in there too, just club captains.
Certainly is. His row a chance for Ireland. Sends it to a dangerous position. Gay decided to just soccer it out of midair, coming through Kearns. A little fumble. Hodder also never takes a backward step, gets a handball out. Morrison received from Malloy. Hand pass didn't quite favour Garner. And a ball to be won in front of the two benches. It's going to be a lasso free kick going the way. And we're just going to have a bit of a chat about... No, it's free kick for a hold, in fact. So it's going to be an Ireland free kick going to Sarah Rowe.
Of course, Sarah Rowe, she's a veteran of this competition.
Sends it to a contest at half forward. It's off hands. It does roll out of bounds. Sarah Rowe, the 31-year-old, also won a premiership with A-League Central Coast Mariners last year as well. She was Collingwood's best first player back in 2019, third in their best and fairest in 2023. But she's a tri-code athlete. And Sarah Rowe, very, very talented woman.
This close to playing for Ireland at the World Cup in the soccer as well. So phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, representing Australia, or rather Ireland in soccer. And now here tonight.
She's been here that long, Kel. We could probably claim her.
Yep. The Irish need her here in this second half. It's a lovely mark taken by O'Shea. Out wide, looking for Rowe. Malloy going back. Here goes Rowe. Handball's over the top. No one was there. Fitzpatrick. They're on Fitzpatrick. Now Schultz. Can anyone bring her down? We're
seeing behaviours from the Irish players tonight that we don't normally see in the AFLW. They're doing things differently, little taps forward, they're positioning themselves differently. They're playing a very different style of footy than they're accustomed to in our competition.
Kearns. Hodder. And we'll go again.
The style of footy in this third quarter is more in Ireland's terms as well. We've seen a large majority of this game in Aussie's front half, but Irish setting up the wall nicely.
Morrison at the back of the pack. Thought about the handball, instead drives it to a one-on-one, and Malloy Beautiful use of the body, read it best, and then the delivery. Oh, has she taken high, Randall? She could have received the free kick. There was no whistle. So a little let off here for the Irish as they look to set it up from the last line. And Eve McLaughlin's kick eventually gets there to Fitzpatrick. Her little dinky one goes out wide. They're playing soccer out there off the turf. Comes unstuck. Riddell pressured by Maloney. Marinoff rips it out. Scholes is involved. And now Fitzpatrick. Paula O'Dwyer can't set something up. Morrison. Bree Conan. Look at that, the composure. The Brisbane Lions premiership captain to find Marinoff. On the left, spears it in. Couldn't quite take the mark, Zippy Fish. Paula O'Dwyer, the skipper. And it'll be a free kick going Australia's way, out of bounds on the full.
You notice that strapping on Anya McDonough's right elbow, guys. I spoke to Team Ireland. They're pretty confident it was just a bit of a jar. So she looked very distressed, but clearly fine to be out there now.
It's good news, Loz. Great pressure on the mark from Maloney up against Gay. Goes in again and take two. Finds Morrison by hand. Spears it down the line for Fish.
Morrison just quietly moving into the second highest disposal winner for Australia. She's been incredibly clean and smart with her decision-making.
Fish kicked the first goal for Australia. Sends it inside forward 50. McLaughlin, the captain of Gold Coast, is wrapped up. She's, of course, the first Irish player to captain an AFLW side. Scholes to Marinoff. Links up with Garner, and now Morrison. Conan under pressure, back to Garner, met heavily by Wall. McCarthy, she's also wrapped up, and we're going to have a ball up. So the rucks have certainly been an issue for Ireland at the moment. Scholes and Strom are hard to contain. To start this third quarter, they've thrown Jen Dunn in the ruck as well. We've seen Vicky Wall contest a ruck's centre bounce as well. So they're certainly trying everything at the moment.
I'm enjoying their physicality, Jess. I think the way that they're trying to congest stoppage has worked in their favour for the most part, and Australia just need to drive legs from congestion here.
Scholes, beautiful, down to Conti, and she steadies and spears it through. Exquisite exhibition of Australian rules football.
Well, Monconti, just a beautiful read of the play, just knows when it's her moment, knows how to cut herself through traffic. You spoke to Loz about driving her legs. It's exactly what she did. And just was aware that she didn't have a lot of close checking there. She had all the time in the world. Monconti, you can't give her any time or space. And she will cut you up, certainly in front of goal, in the corridor. It just streams on in. Beautiful finish from her.
And the soft hands from Scholes. We've mentioned, just to your point, you're alluding to Ireland's battle with height in this game, and Clara Fitzpatrick has fought exceptionally well, but Matilda Scholes, that ruck tap straight down Conti's throat is just a beautiful part of our game. Exceptional footy.
Certainly is. The 2023 league best and fairest winner, Monconti, getting on the score sheet strong with the tap. O'Dwyer feeds out a hand pass, looking for Dunn. Marinoff is also there for Australia. Hanks goes in and gives it to Smith. Driving kick forward for Australia. Malloy with a spoil in the end towards the boundary line that goes over and out.
Read that really well there, Malloy. Knew the ball was going to go over the back, so just impacted the contest. Created a 50-50 rather than a turnover.
To see her back playing footy, and looking forward to seeing what she does for the Sydney Swans in the upcoming AFLW season. Ball flung back into play. Scholes palms it down. Hanks to Marinoff, squeezes a kick forward. There's a little spirally one towards Malloy. And on cue, she's going to get a look at the big sticks.
Oh, Ebony Marinoff, one of the premier midfielders of this competition since day one, and I know she's worked so hard on her kicking, and just that quick one-step kick to the advantage of a leading forward, and she knows Chloe Malloy exceptionally well, and Malloy front position, quick off the mark. It's nice to see her back out there.
Certainly is. She's had her injury troubles over the years, kicked a career best 19 goals last year, 3-time All-Australian, 4-time leading goal kicker across Collingwood and the Sydney Swans is Chloe Malloy. She trots in. She just couldn't quite sneak it through.
So Ebony Marinoff, 14 disposals for the game, 6 in this quarter alone. So we know with 9 on the bench, there's a fair bit of rotating going on, but they're great numbers. Marinoff in this quarter.
Eve McLaughlin brings it back in, and that was a little reckless from Bogue. Crashed into the pack late on Strom.
Done well to get away without a 50-metre penalty here too, I would have thought.
Strong. Up towards Schultz. Oh, Matilda's moment. And dashing away now is McLaughlin. Handballing into the centre of the ground. Here they go. The speed. Fitzpatrick gets it over the top. And a chance for Ireland. And the kick is offline. Gavin Mangan.
Geez, they're exciting, aren't they, when they get a bit of space and they just know where each other are and they just are able to put the ball to their advantage when they get some room.
It's Cordner for Australia in defensive 50. It's to a contest on the wing. Stroman from position couldn't come down with the mark, and we're going to have a ball up. On centre wing here in front of the two benches. Plenty of rotations being made. Done. Slaps it forward for Ireland, only as far as Smith. Dodges one. Sends it into the centre square. O'Shea. Conti rips it away from her. Then gives it to Fish. Off to Roberts. He's back and board to Hoare. They continue to link up by hand, Australia. Hanks, that hand pass missed the target. She slaps it forward. McLaughlin overran the footy. Riddell was at a throw. Umpire didn't see it. Hoare caught. Got a handball away. Irish defence under all sorts of pressure at the moment. Kick into the centre square, but Birch, she always is, sets up so well behind the footy. Hands it to Hoare, her former teammate in the AFLW. Centres the kick. Scholes with the fly. Couldn't quite hang on in the end. And we've got a ball up. She's looking dangerous though, Scholes. You called it earlier, Loz.
Dirty on herself there too for not taking it, I think.
Could be third time lucky. Had a couple of leaps.
You just wonder if that was part of the conversation in the Aussie rooms at half-time. Put it up in the air, put it to our tall's advantage, and Randall's benefited from lead-up, but I think they can do more of the aerial work in their forward half.
Riddell, handball, does get there to Fish in the end. She threw that. And McCarthy has battled hard all night. Aisling McCarthy, the Fremantle star. Conti, scraps, Strong. Toe poke, in the end, handballs at Conway. What a goal she kicked in the first half. And that delivery to her Brisbane Lions teammate, Otter, who says, I want to get on the board and get involved in the action as well.
Well, Otter's a small forward, but she never really plays like it, does she? She's just got such aerial ability, reads the play so nicely, got some early separation, and she's got so much pace. So the first 2 or 3 steps for her, she just creates that separation from her opponent.
She's an excitement moments player. Previously goal of the year and mark of the year. What about directly in front for Hodder? Yeah, give me a bit of love, she says. It's about time.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay here, a great finish from Courtney Hodder and a wonderful build-up from the Australians. We know they want to play kick mark, and we've seen some link-ups from teammates in this game already. Conway's composure, knowing that she was by herself at the back of that contest, and Courtney Hodder's knowledge that Conway would be looking for her. She's so quick off the mark, so smart. Nice to see her finish one for Australia.
The Irish have lacked a person forward of the contest, and the Australians have just been able to hit to that space and just the quarterback release from behind the contest. So the Irish probably need to tighten up the backside of that contest, make sure that there's coverage all around.
Courtney Hodder coming off an All-Australian season for Brisbane last year. Back in the middle we go. Cronin takes matters into her own hands, runs to 50, bombs it to the goal square. Maloney the target. And great work by Cordner to bring it to ground. Gillard to Morrison. The hand pass. Missed Gay. A chance for Rowe from the pocket. Centers the kick. No one home for Ireland. It rolls through. It was just touched by Conway, I think, on the way through. Almost. Characteristic error there, but it goes through for a minor score.
I really like that from Kaylee Cronin. I'm sure when she got the call up to play for Ireland, she wouldn't have been expecting Kel to be playing in the ruck. She's fought at a really high level as an undersized ruck, and that forward 50 entry was so dangerous for her team.
And we played a handful of games, of course, for the Adelaide Crows. Strong. The Freo ruck. Wide, Conti. Happy to see it over. So the last 6 goals have gone to green and gold. And a well-earned rest for Mon Conti, who has an incredible record. What is it? 7 of the last best and fairest she's won at Richmond. Oh, there you go.
7 or 8. We've lost count.
7 I've got. 8 all up. We'll give her an extra one. Clever tap. Bogue was there, and another clever tap on. Can they make something? They've got it inside 50 here. Good work at ground level by Dana Finn to lock it in. No whistle. And eventually the handball. And it's a great kick. Look at that. The skills have been magnificent. Malloy's involved. Over to Marinoff. She's going to put it right over the top of Jen Dunn's head. And Randall says, thank you very much. I'll go back and see if I can equal my career best of 5 goals.
I mentioned earlier, just briefly, how hard Ebony Marinoff has worked on her disposal by foot, but our game doesn't get a lot better than that kick. To advantage, Randall leading out the back. All of the forwards were ticking back into space, and centimetre perfect from Noffy.
This is the toughest set shot she's had all night, Randall, but she's had her kicking boots on. Just hangs it out to the right. First blemish for her this evening, Talia Randall. 4 goals, 1 to her name.
Cronin now with the kicking duties for Ireland, and that is beautiful to Lally. Just the 6 games for Kayla Cronin in the AFLW, but she's a star in Gaelic footy. Kelly makes the kick around the corner. Well done, Cordner. Couldn't win it back for Australia, and off they go. O'Dowd looks to go to Rowe. McKenzie applying the pressure for Australia. Morrison crashes in. She's wrapped up by Wall and Rowe. They want a free kick for holding the ball. They're going to get it. And a little window of opportunity for Ireland. It's going to be Vicky Wall to have the set shot at goal.
Worked really hard there, the Irish, just to create the outnumber, put lots of pressure on the Australians with their head over the ball. They just hit the ball with speed, the Irish. They crack right in. They've got so much confidence, head over the ball. If they don't win it, and they've got the numbers, you're not going to get it out.
And of County Meath, she's won 2 premierships for North Melbourne. Kicked 2 in a grand final in 2024. She can't sneak that one home as it slams into the woodwork.
It's been really important for her team. Vicky Wall up to 5 tackles now and having a very physical influence on this game.
Chance here, Bedell's kicking, missed the target, but they're good enough to regather. Little sidestep from Conway, but straight to Ireland. And this is Boyle Carr. Oh, she's kicked it to a 2-on-1, and the one was outnumbered in Vogue. And Charlie Thomas, hung out for an anxious moment. Open the door here for Kearns. No one will stop her. Nothing gets in her way. A chance for Anya McDonough. She hasn't had her moment yet. Still they fight and scrap. Maloney toe pokes it. Ola O'Dwyer. She leaves it. She deserves a goal. Ash McCarthy, but offline.
We saw the pace there of the Irish just on display. She gave up about a 10-metre head start. The ability to impact the contest there, get to it first.
Sophie Coyne, that was a shake off the boot. Marinoff. Pass straight to Bogue. She's wrapped up, and we're going to have a ball up. Just the 2 goals scored in this third quarter, both coming the way of Australia. They led by 30 points at half-time. So Ireland with a bit of work to do. Dell's going nowhere, stripped to the footy. Going to do it all again. So Ash Riddell, she's up to 70 disposals for Australia, the leading disposal winner on the ground. For the Aussies, Ash McCarthy with a 15 for Ireland. Wall crashes into Hodder. Wall goes in again, so too Hodder. They're looking her eye, Vicky Wall. McCarthy bounces back to her feet. She's caught by Marinoff, and the umpire's going to ping her for holding the ball.
She wears her heart on her sleeve, Aisling McCarthy. Yeah, up to 15 disposals. Marinoff puts it out in front of Morrison. She needs a kind bounce. She couldn't get one. Kearns got in her way. The 2 Geelong teammates crunch into each other. Now Bogue. Is this a better build-up? No. Oh, juggling and missing was McKenzie. Some tired players out there. They've had lots of practice games, but their first proper hit out for season 2026, and they're sucking in the oxygen as we close down to 3-quarter time. O'Dowd Can't get it out. Morrison stripped of it. Hanks, quick hands. Got it to Charlie Thomas. Umpire saw something, said free kick, Australia.
Okay, we're seeing a couple of players out of position just naturally by the fact that it's a representative game. And Rachel Kearns, I'm wondering if Mick Stenier is watching and thinking, it's not a bad half-back decision here from Colin O'Riordan. She's read the ball really well from half-back.
Here's Cordner at half-back for the Aussies. Goes down the line with the kick. Is that a little shove? It was against Boyle Carr on Conti. Richmond superstar. We'll bomb it long to a 2-on-2 at half forward. Cronin had hands to it. Just couldn't come down with the mark. Then tries to slap it forward. Riddell close to the line is smothered by Kelly. It's over and out.
A really good response here from Ireland. The Australians had the jump on them coming into half-time, but I've loved the way they've responded in this quarter. Much more balance, getting much more depth in their forward 50 entries. Much more positive from them.
Shiloh Curtis and Lauren Arnell in specials. Fox Footy, your Saturday night special. Australia v Ireland. It was Australia by 12 points at quarter time after they kicked the first 3 goals in 7 minutes to set this stadium alight. And then Ireland hit back with the next 2. Australia stretched it out to a 30-point lead at three-quarter time. And they've kicked the last 6 of this contest to blow it out to a 41-point lead at three-quarter time. Randall has 4. Laheen Bogue for the Irish has 3. And Colin O'Riordan, the coach of the Ireland side, will have to come up with something special at three-quarter time if he's to get the visitors to get themselves back into this one-off contest. Special occasion exhibition of women's footy at its best here this evening. And we've got the final chapter coming up on Fox Footy right after this. It's Australia leading by 41 points. she's played 9 seasons in the AFLW. Mon Conti, she's won 8 best and fairest in a row, including the last 7 for Richmond. What teamwork. What an excellent reader of the footy. That is beautiful roving from Mon Conti in Australia with the last 6 goals. They lead it by 41 points. Well, let's get down to Lauren Wood on the boundary.
With Australia coach Darren Crocker, it was a pretty animated final address there from you. What was the message?
I just challenged the girls to really showcase how far this game's come in the last 10 seasons. And, you know, they're all here because they bring unbelievable weapons, right? And now, you know, it's the time with 1 quarter to go to show those weapons, showcase how good a game this game is now for everyone that's here and everyone that's watching at home.
I know with your day job at North Melbourne, you've got a pretty dominant team at your disposal, but what's it been like leading this group?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. It's an absolute privilege for me, right, to be able to sort of come in. All the staff have been amazing. The girls have been so good. I've absolutely just loved the last few days.
Been a great occasion. 1 quarter to go. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Good on you.
I tell you what, Lauren Arnell upstairs, I think Ebony Marinoff knows how to smell a best on ground, doesn't she?
As she should.
How's her stats in that 3rd term?
Yeah, she's a super player. And again, I think she's the epitome, really, of AFLW. She was 18 years old when the first season, when everything kicked off in 2017. And now to be a club captain, she's won best and fairest. She's grown as a person and as a player. I was very fortunate to play a year of VFLW with her in between the first 2 years. And just to see her maturity, I think she's very representative of the AFLW in general.
Sole captain at Adelaide, of course, Chelsea Randall retiring, going back a few weeks ago. So I did hear a whisper. I think she's in Bali on holiday. So Chelsea, if you're watching in Bali, we send all of us, we send our best to you, a champion of the game. Here we go, Jess, with the final turn.
Australia by 41 points. Scholes with the first tap. Poor. Sends it to half forward. McLaughlin breaking things up for the Irish, who want to start this final quarter with a little bit of intent. Try and give them something to cheer about in this final quarter. McCarthy trying to break free. She can't.
And, of course, Chelsea joining us on Fox Footy, Jess, this year.
I was going to ask her what she's up to this year.
One of our experts, along with Lauren Arnell and Taylor Smith, new recruit for the Swans.
Cannot wait for that. Here's a chance for Smith on the run. He just couldn't quite send it through, only for a minor score.
Well, if we can't have Chelsea Randall on the footy field to just love and admire, well, we can have her in the commentary box. I'm very happy about that. A change-up.
Can't wait for that. Here's McDonough on the outer wing for Ireland and hands it off to O'Shea. We know he's got some wheels, under pressure with the kick. He just dribbles to half forward. O'Dwyer, the skipper, sends it into the pocket and no one's there and it's going to go out of bounds. So the AFLW season kicking off next Sunday. St Kilda and Carlton under the roof at Marvel Stadium. Can't wait for that. 4 o'clock live on Fox Footy. It all starts again in the AFLW.
Of course, 5 double headers with the AFLW and the AFL competition. So exciting.
Flick back in. Schultz is there. St. Schultz wants to make her mark in this final term with a big mark or a big goal. Plenty of fans went out to training yesterday and all you could hear was the school kids yelling out, Matilda, Matilda. Kelly into trouble, so back to Maloney. Now they got it to Neve McLaughlin. Flicks it wide. It's got to sit here. Goes to ground for Dunn. Australia with the numbers. McKenzie into the centre, but it's all green jumpers. So McCarthy just leaves it for O'Shea. From centre half back, they go the handball to O'Dwyer. She's got the runners. Ashley McCarthy's been one of the best. She can't control it though. And another turnover and T. Smith's off. Gives it to Ella Roberts. Breaks a tackle. Back to Zippy Fish. Fish up towards Randall. A couple of cracks at it. She's got it. Talia wants 5. She's got a big boot on her. She ignored the lead into the pocket. Instead, she goes up towards Gunner. One-on-one with Jen Dunn. She wasn't the bigger player in that one-on-one competition, but she knows how to read a Sharon. And she can go back and start party time early here for the Aussies.
Just double back nicely on the lead there. She led and then knew that Dunn was going to have to react to her and drew the free kick.
Already kicked one tonight, the captain of the green and gold. And she'd love to have that shot again.
Very unlike Jazzy Garner to miss a shot like that, but she's been dominant in this game.
Taylor Smith on the boundary for us. Tate
Hey guys, I just listened into Colin at that quarter-time break. He was just saying to the Irish girls, just, you know what you got to do. It's in their hands now. And we saw they started that quarter really strong, and I think they've taken those words on board.
Cronin goes straight down the corridor from the kick in, but no one's there. Conti is for Australia. Hands it to Roberts, sends it inside forward 50. Kearns. Oh, look at the intent from Kearns. Might have given away a free kick. The umpire didn't quite see it. And she goes in again. McLaughlin. She's caught by Hanks. Gets a handball away. Kearns scraps a kick forward. McCarthy's been one of their best tonight. Handball couldn't find a tug. Oh, look out! Vicky Wall! The great wall of Ireland! It goes inside forward 50. McDonough with a snap. Dribbles it towards the goal face and slams into the post. Take us back to Vicky Wall. Bang!
Love that. Love that. Oh, Ella Roberts is feeling every bone in her body right now, but to her credit, she was quick to get up and about. Garner leaves it. Hoare set upon.
Ash Maloney's been put behind the footy, so she's roving. She's moving quite deep as needed. Hasn't been able to get her hands on the footy too much tonight.
Roberts still up and going. Brilliant. That is a great exhibition of women's footy at its very best. The scoreboard might be one-sided in this final term, but Wall with the moment. Handballs over the top. Here's a chance for Bogue. Bogue's a little unsure. So she turns back. Oh, what about that for all-Ireland highlights? That's the Irish at their very best.
Does this game count for goal of the year?
Niamh McLaughlin. So Vicky Wall set it up. Niamh McLaughlin with the handball over to Blaine Bogue. Back to Niamh. That is the best goal you will ever hope to see.
This is Gaelic footy with a Sharon.
Wow. Well, they warmed up with the Gaelic ball. We saw them out on the field. The Aussies were using the Sharon, and there are a number of Gaelic balls out there. If you can control that round ball, you can control our ball.
So cool.
That's great.
Niamh McLaughlin. 6 goals in her AFLW career. It's definitely the best one that we've seen from her career, and I haven't quite seen anything like that. I don't think some of the passages of play out there from the Irish tonight. Out of the middle, Marinoff sends Australia forward. Another big pack forms and collides. Running away with it is Kelly. Look out. And Marinoff, as she does so often in the AFLW, lays another tackle on Lally. Strom up against Dunn and Ruck. Dunn slaps it down. Lurking is Roberts. Gets past one. Feeds out a hand pass. Bogue, a long way from home. 3 goals for her tonight. She's stripped to the footy by Smith. In comes Fish. Riddell back to Smith. Under pressure with the kick. It's going to bounce inside forward 50. Conti has a couple of Irish to beat. Slaps it forward. Wants some support. Hodder links up with Garner. Again, misses another shot.
Saw Ash Maloney involved defensively there. She looks to have a very important role for her team. She started as a tall forward at centre ball up and almost rolling with the play to become a spare defender and then expected to get forward again. She's blowing up, but she's working super hard for her country.
Niamh McLaughlin over the top. They work it up to the wing. Roberts, though. Marinoff, another touch to Schultz, who marks uncontested. Goes back, wants to go quickly, smells a goal, and that is on the chest of Chloe Malloy. Unselfishly, Nina Morrison deserves a goal, and the late inclusion is on the board. To go with her 17 disposals, it's been a night out for this cat.
And that was really clever work there by the Australians. Really stretched Ash Maloney. She had to make a decision about which of the 2 Aussies she was going to go to. They both held their width nice and wide. Maloney then ended up going to Malloy, but it was too late to be able to impact that contest. Morrison did the work as well on top of that. Great finish for her. Really good reward for Morrison too, the 17 touches tonight. She's now got a goal on the board. Wasn't picked in this game. And has just made her way in, and she's the sort of player. She's just an impact player, so consistent, wonderful footballer.
I've absolutely loved Nina Morrison's game. Good luck to whoever's deciding best on ground tonight.
I think it's the 2 coaches, I think. as North Melbourne take on Geelong in round 1 of the AFLW. And Morrison starting her year in fine form. Australia by 12 points at quarter time, 30 at the half, 41 at three-quarter time. And a 43-point margin. Australia work it forward again. Conway kicked a ripping goal earlier tonight. Conti also applying the pressure. And here is Finn with a mark in defence for Ireland. O'Shea. They could work it down the outer side. Oh, great pressure on the mark from Fish. Ran into trouble, lost the footy. Morrison with the fend off, has Conway in support. Kelly with a smother. Ricochets back to Morrison, to Strom. Here you go, Australia again. And one of the best plays in the competition, Conti, just blazes away. And it rolls out of bounds.
Well, big defensive pressure from the Irish there. I think Conti unlucky not to get a downfield free kick, but poorly timed rotation from the Irish. They got away with one there. I think it was Cronin that tried to make a rotation when they were up and going through the midfield. And
I thought it was a new tactic that we're going to go without a ruck for the centre ball up.
Twirling ball back into play. It should sit for Orla Dwyer, and she does. Kicks down the line. Big pack forms. Ireland with the numbers again. Birch with the tackle. Morrison with the handball. Over the top to Roberts. Quick hands. Marinoff. Good pressure coming either side. Still the Aussies go. Through Conti. Marinoff. Strong. Mucking around with it. No doubt now. A little toe poke. We see the Irish as they're getting tired. Instead of bending down to pick it up, they're loving this toe poke. And it's coming off for them as Aisling McCarthy blazes away. And there's no one home. Oh, an awkward bounce. It might sit here for Sarah Rowe. It doesn't. Ricochets back to Conan. She goes out wide. Overcooks it for Morrison. Finn brought down by Morrison. And there's some tired players there. Dana Finn has been pinged for holding.
Another wonderful effort there by Morrison.
Riddell and Boyle stands in the way, stood her ground. Wall hands it off to the skipper and O'Dwyer on the left, sends it down the line. Two on one favour Australia. Corner crashes into Birch. Hopefully they're back to their feet in a moment. Morrison, meanwhile, hands it to Marinoff. Handball's overhead, looking to go back to Morrison. And she's just possessed by O'Dwyer. That should have been a free kick for holding the ball. Fitzpatrick. O'Dwyer, was she tackled without it? Yes, so she will end up getting a free kick.
Just get a sense that fatigue level's really starting to settle in. It's been a chaotic game that the Irish wanted to play on those terms, but very much some fatigue setting in now.
Dwyer off to O'Shea inside 50 with the kick, a little free kick for a shove. And it's going Libby Birch's way.
I think if you're an AFLW senior coach or a teammate of the players out here, you wouldn't mind a little bit of kick mark. Avoid any cost of injury at the back end of this game tonight.
Chelsea Goodell, Adelaide Crows defender, down the line.
And there's been no doubt on the intent of the players tonight. No one's played soft at all given the season.
Oh, Roberts looking for Fish. He got a little shove, I think, and it'll be a free kick for Zippy. Get the opening goal of tonight's representative match. The Rising Star winner of last season. She is the future of this competition and delivers it on a platter to her teammate in Chloe Malloy.
That is heaven on a plate, that kick from Zippy Fish.
And it's heaven if you're Colin, but just not tonight.
Such good footy, and Sydney Swans fans will be very, very happy to be seeing that live. The connection between Zippy Fish and Chloe Malloy.
Chloe Malloy from one Rising Star winner to another. Chloe Malloy won it back in 2018. And she comes. And she makes an impact, Chloe Malloy. She's got 2 goals.
Well, the Australians just now working really hard. Probably that you spoke, Laws, before about the fatigue, the way in which the Irish play the game. They just attack the ball with intent, pace, hit it with speed, and see now some of that fatigue starting to play out. The Aussies just playing off the contest where they need to. They're able to use the ball laterally to get the ball out into space, get the ball into the hands of their really good ball users. Zippy Fish, none better than her. She's a beautiful user of the ball, reads the play nicely, and then to be able to put it into the lap of Chloe Malloy in front of goal.
I reckon the Irish coach, Colin O'Riordan, will be going up to Cochrane saying, hey, get her off now. Get her off, she's done. She's mine. Sydney Swans. She's done enough, Chloe, in her first game back after 10 months from back surgery. 6 minutes left. It'll be party time here for Australia. T. Smith from St Kilda. Riddell is the handball target. Strong slips over, coming in and making a contest of it. And doing well was Jen Dunn. She's had a good game. And Neve McLaughlin can't break the tackle of Ash Riddell.
I feel like the Irish are probably just missing a couple of key position players. Of course, we've spoken about the ruck all night. It's probably there. Something to be able to offset some of the taller Aussies as well.
Oh, Riddell wobbles it to Conway, who is taken over the shoulder by Kearns. So Kearns and Wall, a couple of the Irish tough nuts in this final term, are saying, it's not over yet. Conway will have a shot. She set this crowd into a frenzy with a boundary line stunner in the first half. Two-time All-Australian on the wing for the Brisbane Lions. Has she got 50 in her boot? Not quite. Garner's there. They're under the pump, the Irish. The clearing kick from Finn to a one-on-one contest. Well played there. The mark has been paid. That is a great mark to Amy Gavin Mangan.
Uses the run of Finn on the left down the line. Gets up the back pass. McDonough just didn't get a friendly bounce. Bedella's there to mop it up for Australia to Gay. He goes down the line. Conway against Kearns again. Conway wanted another free. She didn't get it. Goes out of play to be thrown back in.
The precautionary resting might be beginning down here, guys. Team Australia down. Another Ellie McKenzie from the Richmond Tigers to take no more part with an arm issue.
I think there'll be a few senior coaches out there texting Colin O'Riordan as well, and Darren Crocker just saying, can you please rest my player? That'd be great, thank you. Strong and ruck down to McCarthy. He's battled hard all night for Ireland. Hanks head over the footy. Finn trying to rip it away from her. Ball's going nowhere. It does eventually spill out to Marinoff, who sends it to a dangerous position. Oh, can look out. Randall was the target. Conti outside of the boot. Does she get the lucky bounce? Not quite.
It's been good to see a bunch of coaches from across the competition, senior coaches and assistants being involved in this process. So Reece Shaw out there earlier, working with the Irish girls. So really great that the whole competition has embraced tonight's game. It's been a great spectacle. So much excitement. Over 9,000 in the stadium tonight, 9,017. The vibe here is fantastic. Sydney's put on a wonderful event. Players have played great footy. It's been such a fun game to watch and call.
3.5 minutes of fun left. Smith sends it to the teeth of goal for Australia. It's knocked away from Ghana. Riddell's lurking. O'Dwyer hot on her hammer. And it's going to be a free kick for a throw going to the captain, Ola O'Dwyer, who, as we've mentioned, was the first Irish player to win an All-Australian blazer. Two-time premiership star. And speaking of premiership stars, Brie Conan, the skipper of Brisbane, takes the intercept grab. And Australia surges forward again. Conway couldn't complete the mark. Kearns crashes into her again. And running out of defence, Ireland. And this might be an opportunity. There's no one up ahead, though, for McDonough to work with. So I'll have to maybe get their handball game going. Here's Wall to O'Dwyer, goes over the top to Roy. Has to get rid of it quickly, and it's all come unstuck for Ireland as Bedell hands it off to Conan from half-back. It's a wobbly kick down the line, only as far as Cronin.
So Cronin's going to send it back in the same direction. Chance for a late goal here. Wheeling around is Rowe, and she finds a teammate, and it's Aisling Reedy.
We'd love to see that different style from Ireland. Obviously, the run and gun and the overlap handballs worked for them for a lot of the night, but Sarah Rowe finding a mark inside 50. Good footy.
So Reedy, who's just played a handful of games for Carlton, doesn't quite strike it how she likes. And here goes Zippy. Can they go end to end to put a bit of icing on the cake here? Marinoff keeps it in play with that trusty left, up to a one-on-one. Conti, clever handball, but couldn't find the target, was looking for Conway. He's still going in hard with 90 seconds left on the clock. scrap. Another tackle for Marinoff. Anyone stand out? Shiloh Curtis, Lauren Arnell for best on ground at this point in time?
I really love Morrison's game, just the poise and the balance, particularly when just to create, I guess, an offset to what Ireland's brought tonight. Loz, for you?
It's difficult to go past Talia Randall's 4 goals. I think they've all come at timely moments in this game, and it's been a lot of really good mids for Australia, and I thought all O'Dwyer and Erica O'Shea in particular for Ireland have stood up as well. But yeah, I think between Randall, Morrison, and then those high possession winners we've come to expect from Marinoff, Riddell.
Marinoff's had 11 tackles, 25 disposals, 9 inside 50s from Marinoff.
It's crazy, actually continues to rack up the numbers.
And rack up the numbers when you've got the calibre of player on the field as well. Think about the different ball winners out there tonight.
Well, Roberts ran into O'Dwyer, just found a boot in the end. O'Shea posts the line off to McDonough. Nothing really for it to kick to except Reedy.
Well played.
She'll surge it inside forward 50 and had Dooley out the back, but Dell couldn't complete the mark. Stays alive for the Irish. Dooley goes over the top. Wall to the pocket. McDonough's worked hard to be an option up forward, and that ball is over and out, and it'll be a throw-in with 12 seconds left here at North Sydney Oval.
Hasn't been Anya McDonough's night. She's come in as probably the big star player for Ireland. Best and fairest player, a winner with Hawthorn, and of course one of 3 Ireland All-Australians last year. Just has not been her night. Roberts as well has tried hard for Australia. The superstar she's been for West Coast Eagles. Australia by 12 at quarter time, 30 at half time, 41 at 3/4 time. And the women in green and gold make history. They make us proud. They're crowned the first ever champions of this international representative game. But it was AFLW footy that shone the brightest. Australia prevails by 50 points, 13-13-91 to 6-5-41 in front of a crowd of more than 9,000 fans at North Sydney Oval. Lauren Wood, it's all yours.
Thanks, Kelly. Here with Chloe Malloy, a proud AFLW player, but a proud Australian after that result. You turned your back on basketball and probably thought your chances of representing your country were over. What was that like?
Yeah, it's humbling. Like, you have a look at the talent that's out there on the field. I think even beyond the scope of just getting out there and playing for your country, I think the pivot that this takes for AFLW, and just looking here tonight how many people came out. The next team might have to be an Irish team. But no, I think the overwhelming feeling is just so proud. Proud of everyone for coming, proud of the girls for getting out there, the 2 teams pulling this together. Yeah, I'm just stoked. I'm pretty happy.
You spent the last 72 hours with some pretty incredible individuals from across the competition.
Yeah.
What did you take from that and from this occasion?
I just think seeing the composure from everybody, even leading into probably, this is honestly the biggest game besides the grand final. Just the way we spoke to each other, how everyone was really calm. We all knew what we needed to do to get ourselves up for, for the game. And yeah, just kind of observed everyone. I still got to get a couple of their signatures. I missed a few of them. Definitely hard to not fangirl them. But yeah, I think this is a moment that you look back on and you go, wow, I got to play with,